All right, welcome back to another episode of Two Screws Loose. We have a new profile photo on Spotify if you haven't seen that. Nicole made that. Today, we are going to talk about why your excuses fucking suck.
Yeah.
I'm a bit angry today. I'm not in a good mood. So I'm going to take it out on you.
And I'll be nice.
Yeah, so we're going to do our usual game first. And I'm hoping it doesn't take me out of this angry mood because I'm just going to spray people today. Hopefully it's a productive spray, though. Like, maybe we should just cut that out of the episode. No segment this week, guys, because it fucking sucked. Maybe some more.
I had some fun.
It was a good idea.
I had some fun. We just don't really have... You missed so many songs that I would have known.
You listen to sad music.
Yeah, because it makes me happy.
I only listen to angry music.
Yeah, your ones give me overstimulation. My brain is like...
Yeah, but it's good, but...
Yeah, but how can you sing to those songs? It's like...
How can you sing to the music you listen to when you train?
Romeo, take
Yeah, but you
me
don't. You listen to
somewhere.
fucking, like,
Bangers.
trance and all that shit.
Yeah, but
There's no lyrics in it.
Yes, it is. The other day, the playlist, the song, the mix that I'm listening to at the moment has like little birds, and then all of a sudden it's, and I'm like, makes you happy. Your music is like, cut my soul into pieces. That song?
Yeah, it's Last Resort by Papa Roach. Yeah, it's a good song. You should know that. That's a sad song. You'd know that. Should be on your miserable playlist.
Patrick got in my car once.
It was not the right time to listen to sad music. And you
Patrick was going through some sadness for a little bit. And anyway, I was like, I'll put some music on. And then it was a sad song. And I was like,
next one. Oh, it's also a sad one.
Oh, next one. Oh, this relates too much. And then I end up like skipping like 15 songs. And
all miserable.
Nicole's mix. Anyway.
That's all right. We have different taste in music. Mine is faster. I asked clients the other week, send me your playlists. The amount of... I like you guys, but the amount of shit you sent me.
Maybe I'll ask my clients for that.
And
It
it's...
really tells you about it. Tells you
And they all listen to your fucking music. I reckon there was one person that sent me metal, and I was like, yeah, you're now the new favourite.
Patrick, we don't have favourites.
Well, if they send me music that I like, and they give me good song suggestions, shout out to Troy for giving me a good song suggestion the other day. I put it on the playlist.
I have a client. Anyway, I don't know if I've spoken about this. No, I haven't. Her win is she wanted to prioritize her. I think it's a similar win to another one though. That's okay. A different client.
Yeah.
Never a morning person. Not a morning person, and has now progressed. Moved to morning sessions.
Adopted morning sessions.
Yeah, adopted.
Yeah.
Adopted morning sessions because she wants to have more time in the afternoon for time with her partner and relaxing and whatnot. And she said that after work, it was just so hard mentally to, go to the gym because you're exhausted. And that's the thing, my voice telling her to get up and the fact that she knows if she sleeps in, she'll have to go after work and she doesn't want to do that. And that's how she's done it. So
it's like a sort of like a punishment reward system.
yeah, like
the punishment is if I don't do it now, I have to go after work, and that's what I want to avoid. So I'm going to get up and go in the morning.
Yeah,
it works. Fuck it, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I do have one. One of my clients in particular, this actually segues really well into our topic today. Is there's probably two, so both he and she, two separate clients, similar messages this week. They kind of realize that they dropped the ball in certain areas, or heavily dropped the ball in certain areas. And I think that a lot of people, just in general, when they fuck up, they just shift the blame elsewhere. They're like, I had this come up, and I just didn't have time to do X, Y, Z. And that's not necessarily just training or food. That's just other things get in the way, and then you push things that you say a high priority but a lower priority in actuality to the side. You right?
Well, it tastes weird, but yeah.
Oh. But so they dropped the ball over the last few weeks, and I didn't want to say anything. So I was like, yeah, I know you got stuff going on. But they sent me messages both separately, over the weekend and today. That the fact they're like, hey Pat, I realized that over the last few weeks I've actually dropped the ball. And while I said this was a high priority, and I thought it was a high priority, I looked over my like what I'd actually done, and I realized it was actually a lower priority. So I've rearranged my schedule this week to actually push my training and my nutrition to be a top priority. So I'm going to prepare in advance and get all my shit sorted. And they actually watched your podcast last week. Yeah, I know we have to take it down until it puts back up.
Hopefully we can put it up soon.
Yeah, but they actually watched it because she said something very, very valuable in that I clipped because I thought it was a really, really good thing too. That you don't actually, like, you think you know your habits and your routine until you actually write it down on paper and actually look at it. And like, I'm guilty of that too. But a lot of people don't do that and they just think they're doing X, Y, Z. But then when you actually write it down and look at it, that, okay, I'm not doing half the stuff I'm saying I'm doing. I'm not getting my steps when I say I'm getting them every day. I look at it and I'm not actually getting them every day. You just get caught up in the motions of thinking you're doing stuff when you're not actually doing it. So the fact that they recognize that and they owned it and they put strategies in place themselves to actually fix that problem is good. I had a client last night tell me that he's got a lot to do with work at the moment and like he's struggling to fit everything in. And he's got like, I've got this big to-do list, but I'm too scared to look at it because it's big. Right? So I said, make 2 lists. Make your to-do list and then a get stuff done list. And then focus on the get stuff done list because that's the priority. That's the important stuff that's going to get done. Once you get that done, then you can look at the other things that are less meaningful. Like I would say getting your training in is probably above unstacking the dishwasher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that you have to think about that. Go on. No, give me a counter argument. Go on.
No, it makes sense. But the thing is, like, if I don't have clean dishes, how do I make more food? And then, you're
just creating an excuse out of an excuse. That's just laziness.
Yeah, but those two things don't go on the same page. One takes 2 seconds. You can still get that done and training.
Yeah, that's not the point of the argument. Is that there are things that are higher priority that are more important.
Oh yeah.
That you get done first, and then you're like, okay, well, I got the less important stuff to do, and I'll just get that done. That's fine.
And like I see that with say you come into Monday and you've done your day of work, and you don't have any meal prep, and your 2 options are meal prep or training for that night.
I do the meal prep.
Because that's going to set you up for 7 days, 6 days, 5 days. One training session, yes, you might tick off one, but it's better to miss out on one training session than 5 days of food.
Correct. Yeah, I'd finish the meal prep, look at the time, like, do I have time to go? If the answer is no, then cool, you got to be up at 5 a.m. for work and it's currently 9 p.m. You don't have time to go to the gym. That's fair. Just do it the following day, but you've got your meal prep done, so it sorts you out for the week.
But I think top on the list is mapping out what you need to do for the week. I actually saw this video of when you have a whole lot of things to do, a tool to prioritize them. People get really overwhelmed when they have a lot of things and they go, I don't know, like with work tasks and life tasks, and nothing ends up getting done because the pile seems too big.
Yep.
Anyway, it was this cool little like grid system, and you put your tasks horizontally and vertically, and they verse each other. So like, I think you go backwards. I can't remember how you do it. And then like say like washing the dishes versus washing the cars, you do, A or B or whatever the letters you do. Okay. And then they fight, whoever gets the most points at the end, it's a point system. So like number 1 versus 10. So the order of preference.
Yeah. So it's similar to game theory.
What's that?
Of where you, certain tasks throughout the week are assigned points. And provided, let's say you've got 100 points for the week, you set the parameter of what a successful week is. So let's say for you, like 70 points out of 100 across a week justifies a win. Great, you won that week. But if you only get 30 points, then you need to reassess what something is worth and how important it is. Because when it comes to priorities, like the word priorities doesn't make sense. Because then that, like, you can only have one priority.
Yeah.
Because then everything else is still prioritized under that priority.
Yeah.
So like
it's a spectrum.
Correct. So like training for me at the moment is top priority. So like training and work, they compete. They compete for top priority spot. So it's easier for me to have one priority. Like, cool. So I'm going to train at 11 a.m. every day. I know that's going to be sorted, so then I can still get the rest of my work done and not have to stress about it. Like for other people, that's different. We have a gym downstairs. Like my schedule is far more flexible than most because I work from a laptop.
Yeah, but then it's, you don't have the flexibility of training at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, the principle still stands though.
Yeah.
And it's just going to look different for different people. So I think that you can turn that off if you want. So I think that like when it comes to like the I don't have time excuse.
You're not making time.
Correct. Like, even that, but like it's not that you're not making time. It's just you don't have the priority to actually you don't care. Like you say you care, but if you're
You're going to have to sacrifice.
You're right. Continue.
You know, in Harry Potter, it's like
Oh, before we go into the
sacrifice himself.
Yeah, when I posted yesterday, I was listening to Avenged Sevenfold, and one of the start of their music's like really light piano and like harmonics. And Reese replied to my story, like, "Sounds like you're listening to the Harry Potter theme song while you train." And I was like, "Yeah, it's exactly what it sounded like." You said you were going to make sacrifices.
Oh yes. I think it's not that you don't have the time. You're not sacrificing something, meaning something's higher priority, and that could be relaxing on the couch.
Yeah.
Like if you get home from work and you go, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm just going to relax." That's not you don't have time. That's just
the time is
made,
there.
You've made the decision. Yep. And also people see the weekend as like a forbidden, you don't train on a certain day.
Mm-hmm.
You still got the time. You're just not changing the plan.
Or you just got some days you just got to get it done. Like I told a client the other day, she struggles with sleep. She struggles because of her workload. She struggles with sleep, and I'm like, some days you're just going to have to get up, even if you don't feel 100%, even if the session's not amazing. If it's a time you've got, you just got to get up and go do the session.
Yeah. Otherwise, just change your job.
Well, that was the conversation that opened that door. So that's the discussion we're having.
Well, I mean, okay, and that's the thing is, that's easier said than done, but something has to give. If it's either the three options they have there is 1, be a little bit tired some days, still train.
Mm-hmm.
Don't train at all, don't get to your goals.
Mm-hmm.
3, change the job so you can sleep a little bit more.
It's something that we've worked on over a period of time, and it's not something that she jumped straight into. But like Jackson, he was down here this morning training, and he walked in. He's like, "Man, I feel like fucking rat shit today." And I was like, "Yeah, but you're here. That's all that matters. Like the session's not going to be great, and you already know that. You're just going to do what you can, and it's better than not doing anything at all."
Oh yeah, I only got through 3 exercises yesterday before I was.
Yeah, well, you posted about it. Yeah.
Oh, I was my periods have been bad these last 3 times. And I thought I was in a mood and I thought I'm just going to do it. I've just been listening to those things that I shared with you. It's like, stop making excuses. I'm in the car like,
fucking
Rocky,
let's fucking go. Yeah,
I'm going to stop making excuses. I'm going to stop it. I got there. And then I was like a bit defeated, but I wasn't really. I knew I wasn't going to lift as heavy. And then I got through, I think it was like 3 exercises and I was on my 4th. And my cramps were cramping. Yeah. And my form wasn't going. And I was like, physically cannot lunge any further.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You went and put the effort in. Even if it wasn't 110% of what you normally give or 100% of what, like, compared to what you normally give, it was still 100% of what you could do at the point.
Yeah, it was 100% for that day. And then, there's nothing worse than telling yourself you're going to do something. And I think with our clients or just people in general, it's like, they're worried to sort of let us know sometimes when they haven't done things. Mm-hmm. They'll sugarcoat it. You're not letting me down. You're letting yourself down.
You are.
And that's the thing is this goes a little bit with my swimming. I'm going to talk about it. So first lesson, I loved it. I was like, I learned so much. Second lesson was survival. Like it was just, they have to do, once a term survival, like wear clothes. Third lesson, I hated it.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I was so shitty. It was very much comparison between, well, personally, I was feeling like I was comparing myself to others in the class, but also the swim teacher, not necessarily badly. Maybe I just took it that way, but it was comparing our levels and what someone can do and they can't do. Mm-hmm. And I'm the bottom of the barrel. I'm the last one. I have to swim at the end of the pack. I was just feeling sorry for myself. Anyway, so then I was like, okay, well, she said I need to swim like 2 times a week other than the lesson. And I was sort of like, well, I'm not going to do that because I was like, I fucking suck. And then I got home, had a bit of a mental whinge. And I thought, if I don't go for swims, the only one that's getting harmed is me. The only one that's not, she doesn't really care deep down if I don't improve. I mean, if I'm not going to put in the work, She's not going to go home and cry about it.
Mm-hmm.
The only person that affects is me. Anyway, I went swimming twice. And then today's lesson, last night I was anxious to go swimming. Today I didn't want to go. I was in the car like, it's going to be fucking shit. But I've practiced. So at least I can go in there and be like, I actually practiced.
Yeah.
I have tried. Anyway, we were all swimming and she didn't single me out. And she said, this group, you make it all just look so effortless. You're all gliding through the water, not a lot of splashing. And I was like, is she talking about me too? She didn't single me out. And I was like, okay. And then we did breaststroke for the first time today.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she said I had the most powerful motherfucking legs and the perfect stroke of my legs that she ever seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and she was saying it, I was swimming, I could hear her, and she was telling all the other people in the class, look at that, that's how you do it. And I was like, she's talking about me. She's talking about me. And then she said, my legs are so powerful, I could do butterfly. She goes, this is your stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ooh, I work under praise. But the fact that it was, I knew I had to put in the work.
Mm.
And like I can make an excuse being like, I can't do this. I'm not going to be able to do it. And then I'd practiced twice, but without a lesson, and I improved.
Well, you said there like, do you feel like you needed to be like kind of hear the, hey, that's not good, go and work on it?
No, because I knew.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just needed to get to a point that I had to reflect on what was important.
And by her saying that, it made you go and think about it. It forced you to go and think about it.
No, I think it was just the fact that like I just started looking at my goals.
Okay.
I started reflecting on what I wanted, and I've got a time crunch. I got a triathlon to do.
Yeah.
So then that's kind of, when I have that goal, that's sort of in the back of my mind. And I think people lose sight of their goal with, when you do start to make changes and you see physical changes, you're noticing that you're stronger in the gym. People they get comfortable and they go, oh, I've made a bit of change. Things have worked really well. I've smashed these for the last 6 weeks. And then they get content and they kind of lose sight of their original goal.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I have to keep telling myself, if I can't swim that far, I'm not going to be able to do the triathlon.
Yeah, yours is more tangible because you actually have to go and do something with it.
Yeah.
Like, and in a context of training, 6 weeks is fuck all.
Yeah.
Like 6 weeks is absolutely nothing.
You're not getting through a whole block.
Not even. Like, how long have you been going to the gym for? 5 years, 6 years? Like working out? Like including like all the stuff you did beforehand, because it's still exercise and training. But we're probably both on like 8.
I had PT sessions when I was 16,
right?
A little bit, and then I did just sport outside of school, and then I think I started going to a gym. I was going at actually, you'd be proud. I used to go to the gym at 3:30 a.m. Not because I was waking up that early. I finished work at 2:30 in the morning.
So you made the time for it.
Yeah, and I couldn't. There was no way that I could get up at like say 11 o'clock and then work out and then get tired before starting at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So I figured I had more energy because I was working in a bar, so it was noisy, it was loud. It took me ages to wind down, and I thought might as well use the energy.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good way of looking at it. Because I started when I was 16. I turned 26 in 4 weeks. Yeah.
We're gonna have a party.
No, I hate parties. So that's going on about 10 years. Because I remember my gym membership. I'm pretty sure it was either a birthday present or a Christmas present.
Oh bless.
So it would have been pretty much bang on 10 years. And like the goal really still hasn't changed in that 10 years. It's gone through ebbs and flows, but like it's still like it changed from being a tangible goal of a number to just trying to be better.
Oh yeah, my goal was 60. I think my goal forever, well, not forever. It used to never be. It was a made up goal. It was like I could never get there because cut it short.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I want to circle back to a point that before we went on the swimming stuff. I made a comment in an episode a few weeks ago about something that made me angry, and we said we'd save it for another episode.
Oh, you remembered it?
No. One of my clients, Annika, she's like, you said something in an episode a few weeks ago that you were getting really angry about it, and you we're going to talk about another episode. And she's like, what
Oh,
was
I
it?
love this that she remembers.
And I was like, I don't remember what I was going to talk about. And then you said something, I don't know if I can remember what it was, about the skipping sessions. And you summed it up perfectly, that like by skipping the session, skipping a meal, going off plan, whatever it may be, to make yourself feel better in the moment is doing your future self a disservice.
Oh, yeah.
Like the whole fucking, I went on this whole, like I was sitting in the car last night and I don't know what sparked it, but I was so annoyed, like this whole self-care thing of like going in and drinking and fucking binging
Drinking
on.
is not self-care.
Nah, binging on food, like eating a bunch of shit food is not self-care either.
No.
Like there are times for like going out and enjoying a meal. Like if you went out and enjoyed a meal with Will that was like, wasn't healthy, but you were with the company of someone you cared about and you were there to enjoy the food and enjoy the moment, very different. Getting sad, feeling like I need to make myself feel better, sitting on the couch and sinking a bunch of piss and eating a block of chocolate, that's not self-care. That's just wallowing in self-pity.
Yeah.
And then you're going to wake up tomorrow and feel even fucking worse. What you should do instead, we can talk about this. Like, you probably got some more insight here than I do, but is like going and doing something that actually makes you feel better.
Oh,
Read a book.
5 Funks.
There you go. Yeah, we spoke about that. Yeah,
Funkbusters.
yeah.
I don't know why I called it Funkbuster, but I like
Funkbusters.
that. How to bust your funk.
That doesn't sound good at all.
I kind of like it.
But like, go for a walk, get outside. Like,
Cry in the shower.
like people like fucking 100%.
It's self-care is crying.
Yeah.
I think it is because you're letting out an emotion. You're not blocking it off, like
Yeah.
by eating a block of chocolate.
You're using that as a coping mechanism to deal with how sad you are and how miserable you are, which doesn't actually fix the problem. It just band-aids it.
Yeah. What you said before, it triggered something in my brain. It was, I think we've probably dabbled in this or just conversations about the one that you just said before about, fuck, my brain
Skipping
just died.
sessions.
Yeah,
Skipping
and then
meals.
and letting yourself down, and like I love that. There was this quote that I read. I love reading quotes, lame, but I love it. And it was basically that just you were letting your future self down. Yeah, present you might be wanting to take the quick fix. Present you might want to sit in their sorrows and eat the block of chocolate, whatever it may be. But the only person you're letting down is future you. Are you able to handle that? And
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, that is like wisdom.
Well, it is, because
Wisdom.
it doesn't just apply to like training and food. It applies to fucking absolutely everything.
Oh,
Like,
it's just not just training and food. It's everything.
and it's not even from the self-care aspect too. It's like
It's even like saving money. Like you go, all right, I wanna buy. I don't know. You don't even have to have anything. Oh yeah, you could want to buy a house. You want to buy a car, whatever it may be, and then I don't know. Click Frenzy sales come on. Or
that's
Afterpay
you're
sale,
fucking 100% correct.
and you go,
Yeah.
ooh, I want it now. It's like, yeah, but you're just jeopardizing your future goals
Yeah.
for something that's
Oh, 100%. Like me buying a house, like that's one of the goals I've set over my next 3-4 year timeline is that I want to buy a house.
no more Nando's.
Like-
It's too expensive.
There you go. That's what I looked at the other day. It's like, so I ordered Nando's 3 times last week.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
I reckon I spent like $120. And I was like,
That's why sometimes I go, you want to have a snack from my house?
yeah, I could have just gone and spent the extra 10 minutes cooking, but I just wanted the convenience of the instant gratification, not having to think about it. Go just have some guy drop it off at my house. And like 3 meals later, that's $120.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's like if you're looking at like average saving per week for most people, I honestly don't know what it is, but let's say I'm saving like $400 a week. That's like what 1/4 of my savings gone for the week.
Yeah.
You add that up over a year. You do that every week, not even just on food, just spending on shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking a lot.
Something that doesn't benefit you in the long run. Like, well, I bought a pretty expensive bicycle. However,
Yeah, but
it's not gone in like whenever Will and I want to buy something, we just justify. Like I used to spend $500 on a night out, and I'm like, we didn't think twice about that. Yet, why am I thinking twice about buying something that benefits my health and my well-being?
It's an investment.
An investment.
Very, very different.
It's an investment. And people, when they jump on calls, they want to know, like, they go, oh, it might be a bit out of my budget. It's out of the budget that you want to budget it for.
Correct.
And when I first signed on with Lionstone, I don't think I knew it was going to be like, I knew that I'm going to have to pay something.
Yeah, it's not
Like,
free.
that's what that's what I thought it was. And I never had like a number in mind or anything, but when I had the call, and Will and I already discussed the education, I don't care what it costs because it's going to benefit me in the long run. And we just kept saying, well, we used to buy coffees every day. Like if you can justify, you know, $25 each, so $50 a week on coffees when we can make coffees at home. Like there's little changes like that. And there's a difference between, you know, one of my clients do family walk on Saturday and her and her husband will go with their dog or their fiance, getting married this soon. And they'll buy a coffee and they'll go for a walk. But it's not the fact they're just buying coffee for the hell of it. It's an outing.
Yeah, different.
It's an outing. And Will and I got into a habit of like on a Friday night, like, you know, we'd have maybe Uber Eats or something. And then one night I said, why don't we just go out for dinner? And we had a nice time and we bought pizza and we went down to the beach. And I was like, one, it's cheaper to actually go get the same meal.
Yep.
It's a lot cheaper. But two, it's an experience. If it's an experience, you can justify it. If you're just lazy and you're on the couch.
I didn't even get up from my desk.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like families back in the day and people back in the day never used to have takeaway that often, or they'd have it once a week, but it was a planned outing.
It was a family event.
It was a family event. Now it's just people dark in their dungeons going, oh, what treaties can I have?
Yeah. Yeah, it's you're right. And I think that like
if you don't want to go get it, I don't think you should be able to have it.
That's why I deleted the app off my phone. I don't have it anymore.
I mean, we'll deleted it for a bit.
Yeah. I think that like the whole coffee thing too, and like you're right, the whole budget side of things, if you really want it, then you will make it work. Regardless of what it is, whether it's like coaching or some other service, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. You'll make it work. Like there's been times where I've had to pay for stuff, and like if it wasn't something that like normally it's like I have to do my budget and think about it, which is like understandable because money is a thing and like you need to pay for food and rent and all that shit too. But there was one particular thing that I got off the call for, and I was like, done. Don't even. I'll pay it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is what I want to do. I know I can see how this is going to get me from point A to point B, and I'm just going to pay the money. It's fine.
Yeah, and it's like it's something that's going to directly help you right now, coaching or not, whatever it is. But just like things, education, like university, people don't think twice about how expensive the course is because it's on HEX. But it's, I got a pretty big HEX. But then the thing is like something that's not even a fraction of the price, it might be a gym membership. It might be therapy, psychology sessions. And people go, nah, like I'm not going to pay that. I'm not going to pay it.
Yeah, you're right. It's the value behind it they perceive.
Yeah. And that just tells me that they don't value themselves.
Yeah,
enough.
fucking oath.
Like,
yeah.
That just got popped in my head. It's just like your body that you're in, if you're willing to, pay house insurance on your house, car insurance on your car, take your car to the mechanic to get fixed, all of those things, but you're not willing to invest in your health, it just shows that you prioritize those things more than yourself.
Correct.
Oh, this is wisdom.
That's a really good point. Like there was the example. It's like I think I spoke to you and Reese about it a few weeks ago. It's like I play a lot of video games. I'll look at a game and I'll be like $100 for that game. I don't really want to pay that. Like I won't buy it. But then I'll go and spend $120 on Uber Eats.
Yeah.
That's 3 meals where I'll play a game. If I really enjoy it, I'll play it on a weekend. I'll play it for 8 hours, and I'll do that every weekend. And then all of a sudden, I've got 32 hours out of something that I spent $100 on. And if you divide the 100 by the 32 hours, it works out to be way cheaper. Yeah. Because I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. And it's just the value perception behind paying something that's $100 that I don't know if I will like, or I like Nando's classic wraps. I'll order 3 of those.
They are pretty good.
Yeah, but it's just a perception of value of how much I value something, and if I don't see the value in it, I'm not going to spend the money on it. But if I do, I will. Yeah. And the value is in convenience.
Yeah, the convenience thing. People have gone real I'll admit, so Will and I, back to money, I guess. Will and I worked last year we just had some little debts. We wanted to pay his car off early. We just had some little debts. And then we were hustling for a bit. Not really hustling, but we were just prioritizing paying off debt and paying off his car early. And that was sacrificing stuff. Things that we didn't sacrifice. I still did coaching. We played golf weekly. That was always in the budget, which meant, you know, on the weeks that we had social things on, maybe we couldn't play at a nice golf course. We couldn't buy new golf balls if we needed. Just had to go to a cheap course.
Yeah.
Couldn't play 18 holes because we were like, alrighty, not all of that's going to fit in the budget. Had to sacrifice things. We stopped doing click and collect and we started going to Aldi and going to a few shops to get groceries just so it was slightly cheaper. And that was the sacrifice we had to make. Lately, we've just been doing Woolies delivery.
Yep.
And because it's so convenient, then like sometimes I'll get it a couple times in the week because I'm like, oh, I forgot that. Don't really want to eat that. I want to swap and change, even though I have ingredients for my original plan. And it's just because it's so accessible.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I had to go to the shops, I'd be like, nah, we're just eating the chicken. We're not having steak tonight.
Yeah.
We're having the bloody chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And on the weekend, we went to the pool. And then afterwards, we went to Aldi because it was around the corner. I was like, let's just go do some shops. It was so much cheaper. Yes, it was time out of my day, but it was just had to go get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just, you know, not doing the click and the collect and making it so accessible, it's just like, it's harder to save when you've got things so accessible to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So anyway, this is my little thing that I'm going to start.
Yeah, no,
being more shopping efficient.
I think that's important. It's something that I looked at when I lived out of home. I look over my Uber Eats bill. I was like, why am I not saving any money? Like, why am I only saving X amount per week when I could be saving that? And
Your client.
Which one?
The fact that the client. We won't say name. Anyway, so one of Pat's clients.
You need to remind me.
We'll talk about that. You'll pick up on it in a second.
Yeah.
We were talking about it. And they were spending $750 a week on takeaway and food out and coaching and all of their shopping for the week done. They were saving still like $300, $400. Did you not know this?
No.
Cut this.
Oh, right. Okay. I was like, who?
Cut this
what?
cut this little bit out.
Okay. All right. I get you. Right. Yeah.
So
Okay.
coaching plus all his groceries, he's still saving like $400 something.
Yeah. He was on the very far end of the spectrum of something like that. I wasn't spending $750 a week
no.
Uber Eats. I was probably
But it would
spending
be
like
also
$200,
just like
but
meals out and stuff.
just unnecessary spending
But
on shit.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
It goes pretty quickly.
Oh yeah. No, I completely agree. All right, so we've gone way off topic.
Yeah, I don't know where we came here.
Again, it just comes back to making sacrifices to goals. I think that like whether it's a savings goal, whether it's a physical goal, whether it's a health goal, like you're going to need to make sacrifices, and those who don't want to make sacrifices aren't going to make any progress. Because if you're wanting to, let's say, lose weight, let's say you want to lose 20 kilos, whatever it may be, but you don't want to change what you're currently doing. Like
It's not going to work.
Correct. You still want to have the same lifestyle. You still want to have like the same amount of social events, whatever it may be.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. You're not going to lose any weight. You're not going to make any progress, and you're just going to be wasting time and effort. But the minute you realize that some sacrifices will need to be made, you don't have to cut everything out. You don't have to be like, okay, I can't ever see my friends ever again, because at the end of the day, while fat loss, I'll call it dieting. Dieting isn't necessarily easy. It can be made easier, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be sunshine and rainbows all the time. There are going to be days where you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this. There are going to be days where you're like, oh, I wish I could eat that. But ultimately, you're going to end up in a better spot if you just sack up and just do it.
Yeah, change doesn't happen without change.
Fucking oath. That's the episode of the title. Change doesn't happen without change. That's the episode title, because it shits me to tears when I see people like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But I want this. Well, you're going to have to do all those things you said you didn't want to do in order to get there, or at least some of them. Otherwise, you're just going to stay in the same position, and you're going to continue to whinge and continue to be unhappy, and then but you're just going to fucking stay there forever. You're always going to be unhappy. It annoys me. Do you always like it's a question I'd ask myself.
I don't like.
You can disagree with me. That's fine.
I'm not disagreeing,
Okay.
but I'm saying that like I don't like if I start becoming unhappy with things, I change them.
Yep. Or at least make the effort to change them.
Like, I'm not 100%, like, I'm not perfect. Like, as in, I just miraculously everything's fixed within a week. But if
There's days where I fuck up still as well.
If I don't like something, nothing grinds my gears more when this doesn't have to relate to health and fitness either, just life. When someone complains about something, a situation they're in, but doesn't change anything about it. We know a person, like a distant person, not like a friend of ours or anything, but they often like to complain about their job and their situation they're in all the time. And I always say to Will, is this person like asking for advice? Are they just wanting to have a whinge? It grinds my gears.
Yeah.
And it's just, if you're going to continually complain about the same thing for months and months and months and not change it, don't complain about it.
Yeah, well, at that point, if you're doing the same thing for the last 3 months, you're still complaining about it, I would say you're the problem at that point.
Yeah, change it. If you don't like something, change it. Like, what? Getting it off your chest is not going to make it feel better.
No, if you need to talk, you need to talk. But
yeah, and
if you're not willing to make changes, then
when you're going through a stage, like, do I change something? If it's a job, say you really had a job, if you keep talking about it and not doing anything about it, who's that helping? It's not helping you.
Yeah, it's not the job's point. It's not the job's fault at that point.
You gotta leave.
Yeah,
you gotta leave.
Take some ownership.
Yeah, that works with fitness. It works with everything.
Yep. Fuck. Sometimes I just need to be a little bit angry and I just say some pretty direct stuff.
I asked you the other day, you want to have a chat?
Yeah.
I was like, I sense the emotion. Patrick needs a chat.
Yeah. The podcast is like my therapy sessions.
I am your therapy, that's fine. We go on therapy walks. Is that why you're in grumpy mood this week because you haven't gone on a therapy walk with me?
I went on a walk this morning. Took myself on a walk.
But I'm your therapy.
That's true, you are. You are. But, okay. I just had a meltdown then I didn't know what to say.
Anyway, okay, let's wrap it up. All right.
Wrap it up.
Basically, if there is something in your life that you are unhappy with and it's something happening, it's recurring, you are in sole charge.
Yeah, you're in charge. It's your responsibility to change it.
Yeah. And that can mean walking away from something. It can mean investing in starting something new. It does, I don't know what it may be. It can be anything. But if you find yourself repeatedly saying, I'm unhappy in this situation, I'm unhappy with this, you're in charge.
Yep.
You're in charge. Yep. And it's not going to be always easy. It's probably going to be a bit hard.
Yep.
But you're going to be okay.
Yeah, I mean, the sooner you rip the Band-Aid off and just change it, it's going to be better in the long run.
Yeah.
Stop being a coward.
Okay, goodbye.
Oh, hang on. Before we leave.
Okay.
Book recommendation. I tell you every week. I reckon I've spoken about it in every episode. Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink.
Hey, that's.
Read the book.
Stop making excuses.
Read the book.
No. He's not that one. He is.
That's probably David.
No, that wasn't him either. William loves it. Good. When you're having a bad day, when something's going bad, he always says good.
Yeah.
Why? Because you learned something.
Yeah.
Anyway, have a good day.
Go listen to the book. All right. Goodbye.